is Fred Grace, man. They said there's three possibilities for UAPs, and I'm going to have to say it's all three, especially the United States. But let's check it
The
out.
bottom line is up until very recently, there were really only three possibilities of what this could be. And the first possibility is that it is some sort of secret US tech that somehow we have managed to keep secret even from ourselves for a long period of time. The second option is that it's some sort of foreign adversarial technology that has somehow managed to technologically leapfrog ahead of our country, despite having a fairly robust and comprehensive intelligence apparatus. And of course, the third option is something quite entirely different. It's a different paradigm completely. Now, as of this week, we now know through some of the discussions at senior level leadership that this report has definitively stated once and for all that it's not our technology. And that's hugely important. For 30 years, there has always been this undercurrent, if you will, these conspiracies that there was some sort of TR3B program and some sort of super special technology that has been implemented, and we've been just been very careless about it. And I think that argument was finally put to bed this week.
No, we can't put this to bed, Lou. You can't believe what senior officials at the Pentagon who, are writing this report or even have aides writing the report. You can't say that before the report even comes out that definitively it's not ours. You know what it sounds like, Lou? You're the front runner for some fluff. You're the fluffy front runner, running the fluff for the Wall Street Post. But I'm going to tell you what's real, Lou. As an investigator, you may not be happy with the results you find, but let me tell you about spooky action at a distance. Let me tell you about Area 51, Sector 4, deep underground, Lou. Yeah, we have bases underground. Lou, you act like you don't know anything. So I'm going to treat you like you got your training wheels on. But I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to give you the thing. But this is the whole deal, Lou. There's this little thing in the universe, and it has to do with free energy devices, perpetual motion. Lou, it's called cold fusion. And I can, I can build a plasma generator that can levitate, Lou. It can I did you know there's movies on there? Just go watch once. It's on Netflix. Watch another one. It's called Parallel, where there's a parallel universe. That's in the movies right now. There's another and another and another time travel movie. There's another form of energy that taps into the fourth state of matter known as the electromagnetic field. Lou, your investigators at the Pentagon don't know shit. And you're telling me. I think what the deal is, you just don't want to admit that our Air Force is second. We're in second place now, Lou. But you don't want the Space Force. You know what I like about the Space Force? They never bought one vehicle. Yep. I love the Space Force. You know why? They don't need anything. They just need uniforms. They don't need any ships. They don't need anything. They don't need the Sky Dreadnought. And when Obama announced that in 2014 they're building an Iron Man, it was production and development was already in progress for years. Somebody needs to go talk to Admiral McRaven and see what the hell him and Obama was doing back there with that Iron Man, because I'm telling you, Iron Man is electromagnetic. We have control of cold fusion. There was a Cold War with Russia and we won. We have the time travel program. They lost. We lost them in time. So now we could go to the looking glass all day long and talk about UAPs. We could talk about Hillary Clinton and Bill sabotaging America, stealing the Book of Secrets right from the White House, and taking it to their private server at at their home, and then it got hacked by frickin' Russia and every other government in the world. What the And now everybody's like, oh my God, where'd you get all these pictures? Well, for 10, 15 years, I've been recording, and all of this stuff is now becoming prevalent because there's cases where our officials don't know what's going on, and you can't tell them about a time travel program. You disrupt the whole religion. But this is the real deal. This cold fusion is a way to modify time, and your time is normal, but it looks like you're going fast because you're modifying time in a little bubble, an orb. Oh God, it's tough to speak magic with people because it makes you sound crazy. It's all good, man. It's called a plasma generator. There's a chamber where the plasma's transmutating. It's kicking out a lot of energy right there. You don't even need the wheels. We take the wheels off. We take the transmission off. You take the plate, that back flywheel off. You don't need any of that. We're using the wind. As a matter of fact, you almost don't need a motor. You could just use hot and cold air in tubes under the vacuum. And then you somehow you got to get that thing started. That's why you have the engine. It's a pump. It pumps air. You got cold going one way. We're talking about cold fusion, baby. And if I use copper tubes, when I use copper tubes, I'm getting lift. And maybe not as much lift as you would think, because you can change it with the thickness of the copper tube. So obviously, if you have a very thick copper tube and you drop a magnet down it, it's going to go a lot slower because there's more eddy currents. But if you have a thin tube, millimeter or two, and you drop a magnet, same strength, down the center of it, it's going to go a little bit faster, but it's still going to slow down. You guys get that? I need a partner. And I I'll tell you what, Jeff Bezos, dude, this is like, let me just send this out to you. Jeff, your spaceship, your space program, you're lagging bad. Look, nobody wants to land in the desert. We want to land at the airport. When we go there, we want to go to the airport. We want to chill out. You're taking it and making it a space station. When we already have an airport we can use. So use the airports, take off up there, and use your little jet, your rocket, and zip up there. And you can be in space. But guys, as billionaires, you guys should all be stepping up and thinking about the moon. Now, I don't know what your problem is with the moon, but don't be spooked. We already know definitively it's not U.S. technology up there. No. That's what Lou and top officials at the Pentagon has stated. But this is before the fact. The report haven't even come out yet. So I'm going to try and give Lou the benefit of the doubt. And I'm going to keep watching, Lou. You know I'm watching. And you're more than welcome to come visit, and we can build it together. Because obviously you don't know shit about cold fusion, bro. You don't know jack. I mean, dude. In one way, you have the training wheels taken over or taken off, but your blinders, we're gonna have to pull them blinders back a little bit, Lou. You're man. We're all falling into some weird ass time travel deal. So
So that really only leaves two other options. And that's, again, it's foreign adversarial, or it's something quite different. And I think we're now beginning to learn, as we've heard from the Director of National Intelligence, and I can certainly tell you from my experience, that we're pretty confident that it's not Russian or Chinese technology. And there's several reasons for that that, if you like, I'm more than happy to go into.
The what report, Matt?
Sorry, the UAP report.
It's trust but verify is how it works. You don't get to decide what I get to see. I get to see it all. I was elected by some 800,000 people to come to Congress and see classified information. I was elected by my colleagues here to be the chairman of this committee. That's the way our Constitution works. Will the FBI provide to Congress the full file with no redactions of personal identifiable information?
I cannot make that commitment sitting here today.
Then I'm going to issue a subpoena, and I'm going to do it right now. So let's go. I've signed this subpoena. We want all the 302s, and we would like the full file. You can accept service on behalf of the FBI?
Certainly.
You are hereby served.
When you got your first hit, if you like, as regards actually seeing something interesting?
The first thing was documentation. I used a program called Land Search. I think that once you had control over the domain, because you'd get control of domain controllers, so you own the whole network, basically. And Land Search could actually search all the files and folders on every machine. And obviously it's hard because things aren't going to be called secret UFO data.pdf, are they? So, but I'd scan and look for documents, etc., and I found an Excel spreadsheet that was actually called, or at least in the heading of the column, it said non-terrestrial officers. And I was like, my bloody God, that's just
Non-terrestrial officers.
The New York Times reported that senior administration officials who were briefed on the findings said that the unusual movements witnessed by pilots did not originate from American military or advanced U.S. government technology.
America was gripped with UFO sightings and flying saucer fever. The military was eager to deny it was anything to do with them, and went on television to reassure the American public.
We can say that the recent sightings are in no way connected with any secret development by any agency of the United States.
Then in July 1947, in the midst of the UFO fever, came a startling report by another serving American officer. He announced to the press the discovery of remains from a flying saucer found in Roswell, New Mexico. Within hours, the story of the Roswell incident exploded around the world. The American military panicked. Again, they issued an official statement designed to reassure an anxious public, denying the remains were from a flying saucer. They maintained that it was simply a weather balloon. Behind all these American denials was a more ominous possibility for the military. Assuming the UFOs were not from outer space, flown by aliens, perhaps all these sightings were evidence of an enemy closer to home.
The American military were inundated by all kinds of UFO reports, and that drove them to the idea that perhaps some of those UFO missions were the Soviets.
It was not until 20 years later that the U.S. government was forced to confess that the Roswell incident, back in 1947, was in fact secret military testing by the Americans. They published a report which concluded that what was recovered was not the remains of an extraterrestrial spacecraft, but debris from a then classified Army Air Force research project, codenamed Mogul.